It's so hard for me to predict exactly how my creative project will develop over time or my art practice going to look like in 5-10 years time. A lot of the elements that make my creative practice are out of my control, such as winning a competition or grants, being accepted to film festival. I also find that 5-10 year visions don't work for me. Visualizing such a distant future blocks my day-to-day progress, as my energy instantly flows towards figuring out how I'm going to get where I have imagined I should or would like to be in 5-10 years time, instead of focusing on making daily progress and celebrating small wins that could help me reach my goals while making me feel connected with my creativity and my practice. I believe that in order to make it, my work had to be perfect to please the decision makers, completely overlooking my own creative intuition. This misguided approach gave away my creative powers, depleting creativity flow and growth, as well as development opportunities. For many years, I didn't take into consideration how I felt, what I wanted, and what my intuition was communicating. I pushed my connection and my inner growth aside in the name of instant progress and glory. At the same time, I secretly hoped that some kind of miracle could elevate my creativity to a better place. For years, I felt completely disconnected from my creative self, as joy and intuition, alongside creative hunger, were replaced by superficial, toxic productivity. The moment I realized I couldn't carry on in that space any longer, I started looking for solutions. The best one I came up with was to go back to higher education. First, do a top-up year, which is a common thing in the UK. My top-up year was followed by an MA. It wasn't a quick solution, and in my previous life I was really into quick solutions. The fact that it took me 2 years to complete my plan helped end the never-ending cycle of work, hope, pushing through, disappointment and burnout. The 2 years I spent in higher education as a mature student allowed me to start looking for the first time into my creative process and try to understand how I could make it work in a sustainable way without constant burnout. Before going back to uni, I never took into consideration creative process, as I was too busy consumed by doing things instead of reflecting and allowing time to process my projects and ideas. Nowadays, I do my best to give myself space and time to think and just be in that in-between space. Don't get me wrong, I often feel rushed and impatient, especially when I start comparing my work to others who are younger than me and so much more accomplished or much further ahead of me. However, instead of giving into fear and anxiety such thoughts usually create, I give myself time to breathe and enjoy daily life. I need to be rooted in daily life to fully nurture my creativity. Learning about my own creative process and how to work within my inner creative space elevated my art practice to a completely different level of understanding and appreciation of what I'm able to invent, make and create. If you had asked me in 2019 where I saw my practice in 2024, I would have never guessed I was going to go in the direction I went. Hence, my 5-year plan from 2019 would have completely been redundant in 2024. When fear and anxiety start pushing through my security systems, I give myself space to breathe and I talk to myself, acknowledging how long-term commitment to my creative process instead of getting pulled towards instant gratification is the key. Slow approach to my creative practice works for me. In my own practice, I work with materials already in circulation. I reuse whatever I have access to and I'm mindful of impact my work has on natural environment and long-term environmental and financial sustainability. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time and happy creating!